What will you do if you come home to find everything you love and owned gone? Your family kidnapped, your city burned to ashes, your own soldiers ready to stone you. This is David's darkest hour, when he had thought he was recovering from King Saul's attempt to assassinate him. It's around 1010 BC in Ziklag. David has fled to the Philistine as a hideout from King Saul. While there, Achish of Gath granted him permission to live in Ziklag. He's been living here with his 600 men and their families while running from King Saul. On this day, when they've just returned from a military campaign, expecting rest and reunion with their families, instead, they find total devastation. The Amalekites, ancient enemies of Israel, have raided the city of Ziklag. They've burned it to the ground and captured everyone. Wives, children, elderly parents, all gone. 1 Samuel 34 says David and his men wept until they had no more power to weep. Their grief is overwhelming and raw, but who wouldn't? But David's crisis deepens. His own men, consumed by anguish, speak of stoning him. The very warriors who followed him faithfully now blame him for this disaster. David faces complete leadership failure. Everything seems lost. Here's where the story turns. 1 Samuel 30:6 records a pivotal moment. David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. While others point fingers, David seeks God's face. He calls for Abiathar the priest and the ephod, a sacred garment used to inquire of God. David asks God directly, "Should I pursue these raiders? Will I overtake them?" God's answer is crystal clear. "Pursue, for you shall surely overtake them and shall surely rescue all." Notice God doesn't promise partial recovery. He promises complete restoration. 2 Samuel 38. David immediately mobilizes his 600 men. They march toward the brook Besor, but 200 men are too exhausted to continue. David presses on with 400 warriors, demonstrating decisive action fueled by divine assurance. Providence strikes when they find an abandoned Egyptian slave in the field. He's been serving an Amalekite master who left him behind when he fell sick. David shows him kindness, giving him food and water. In return, the Egyptian leads them straight to the Amalekite camp. The raiders are scattered across the countryside, celebrating their plunder, completely unaware of approaching danger. David attacks at twilight and fights until the next evening. 1 Samuel 30:17 says, "Not a man of them escaped, except 400 young men who rode on camels and fled." The victory is total. David recovers everything. Every wife, his 2 wives inclusive, every child, every possession. Nothing is missing. But there's more. David also captures all the Amalekite livestock and plunder, which becomes known as David's spoil. David's story teaches us that when everything seems lost, strengthening ourselves in God changes everything. His faith transformed catastrophe into complete recovery and even abundance beyond the original loss. Seek divine guidance and trust God for restoration. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more.